Well, hello YouTubers. I hope everybody's well. Okay. Just having a bit of port. Had a beautiful ribeye steak with nice mashed potato, bit of garlic. Anyway, now I'm full. All right, now what I've got here, all right, we received them on Friday, so I said I'll do a video, because so much work. So all these kits that I'm going to show you came from Hobbyalf. Once again, came to the rescue. All right, so yeah, and these won't be done straight away because the units have not arrived from people, but they've already paid for the actual kits and Hobbyalf sent it to us. All right, so now I'm going to talk about reel to reel a little bit when I finish these. So look at that, one kit, beautiful kit. Excuse me, bit nippy today. Okay, so one kit, reel to reel, Hi-Fi, Akai GX630D, reel to reel. Beautiful reel to reel. It's one kit. These are all recapping. Harman and Cordian. Alright, amp. Beautiful amp. Alright, 825. Another kit to recap. 2 bags on this. Beautiful reel to reel. I've got this unit, and I'll give you my butt on this reel to reel. Beautiful reel to reel. Gorgeous to look at, but you get a lot of issues on this one. But once you recap it, it should be all right, Okay, so this is a Sony TC880-2. So it's a reel to reel. Look at that big kit, huge kit. All right. So these, once they come in, we'll basically, sorry for the mess, but it's nothing. We'll basically put them away because I've got so many recapping. All right, and this is a beautiful Yaesu. It's a receiver only, not a transceiver. I've got one of these. Mine, it's in the box. It's in mint condition. All right, it belonged to my father. He bought it from Dick Smith a long time ago. Long time ago. Yeah, when I was a kid. So it's a Yaesu FRG7. I recommend these shortwave receivers. They are absolutely crisp and clear. Well built, just beautiful. Dick Smith had, there's a story about it. I think Dick Smith had the right. He was a distributor for these. If anybody can correct me on that, because I know for a fact I used to go to Dick Smith a lot when I was a kid. All right, okay, used to buy a lot of kits from Dick Smith. Yeah. Another Akai. This is a small unit, but it's a beautiful unit, robust. I got this one as well, but again, there's another kit. Akai 4000DS, and you got the Mark II as well. So they're both the same kits. All right, I mean that's 5 kits. 5 kits, people. 5 kits. Now we'll talk about reel to reel. All right. talk about reel to reel. Just a quick one. Akai, and this is my thinking, okay? Nobody else. If anybody says, well, Akai, you know, I don't like Akai, or I like Sony, or I like TIAC, or I like, whatever, that's their problem. That's okay. That's all right. But I'm going to give you my experience with Akai. Akai, their actual components are A1. Better than A1. All right? 5-star. They install the best components that money can buy on their reel-to-reels. Okay? Never had a problem with Akai, especially their soldering work. They use the best solder, and their quality control, it's bar to none. One of the best. All right, not because I've got a lot of Akai gear. I've got a lot of reel-to-reels. Not because of that. I've got TIAC, I've got Sony, but Akai I've got more on the reel-to-reel. Okay, I love TIAC too, but I explain. Akai, for reel-to-reels, if you know the story about Akai in the reel-to-reel section, they really, really top the market on these. Top the market. Not on their amps, nobody. And if anybody tells you otherwise, tell them to go PP off. They don't know what they're talking about. I do. It's that simple. Okay, so Akai, if you've got an Akai, or you're thinking of getting an Akai reel-to-reel, or you want to get a reel-to-reel, and you're thinking which brand, Akai. All right, you cannot go wrong with Akai. They've used good transistors, A1 capacitors, the best that money can buy. All right, and their workmanship, fantastic. I've hardly any had a problem with Akai. Hardly any problem. I haven't had no problem actually with Akai. Now, TIAC, they're good, very good. All right, top of the line, like Akai. But the components, had a bit of issues with their transistors and their caps, okay? And look, I've got TIAC, but and they just had a bit of problem with them. That's all. All right, with especially their soldering work. Now, look, I love Sony. Don't get me wrong, but they can be a real pain. Sony, yes, they manufactured their own transistors. All right. But most of them came from either Toshiba, Mitsubishi, and basically, I think some Panasonic too, in the reel-to-reel. But basically, I love this model, and I've got this model, all right? And I repaired it, all right? It's in my collection, recapped it, but their boards, their soldering work was atrocious. I'm sorry, Sony, back in them days. Yeah. And that glue, that bloody glue, right? They reckon there's a conspiracy on this. But that glue, just a nightmare. Corrosion. You can damage the traces on that. And there's a lot of videos on YouTube on that, which it is true. But Sony, mechanism, very well made. But their electrolytic capacitors, sorry, just absolutely rubbish. They fail all the time. All the time. That's even in their hi-fi section, in their in their amps. They fail. All right, but a good item, very expensive item, right? To me, it's overrated. Sony. I prefer a Kai than Sony on reel to reel. Their tape decks, Akai, fantastic. My opinion, beat Sony again on their tape decks. Okay, all right. Their soldering work, it's just rubbish. I don't know what sort of, they must have used lead solder. They must have. But it doesn't look like it. It just keeps on, I don't know, you know, like electrolytics, resistors, they move a lot, you know, it's just not well made in assembled right. It's not assembled right, all right, on their electrical components. They're not done right. Probably in their assembly line, I'm not too sure. Their quality control of material is just not that good. But for mechanism, you know, the way it's made, like, you know, everything, you know, the way it's made, it's very robust. But I had a lot of issues with Sony. All right, TIAC, yeah, good, but still a little bit of issues. Akai, hardly anything. I can't remember when I repaired a reel to reel. I've repaired a lot of Sonys, a lot of TIACs, but I can't remember. Sansui didn't make much reel to reel. They made a couple of big ones. I've got 2 of them, but you know, because they didn't make that much, they went into reel to reel much. They're into their receivers, receiver amps and all this, you know, so they were famous for that. Same with Akai, they had good receivers. You know, my favorite, I've got 2 of them. One is in the box and one is out of the box, but there's the AS 980. Beautiful receiver amp. Just absolutely big meters. Oh, they're just well made. I still got them, you know. The one in the box belonged to my dad. I'll never sell that. But the other one, I got it a long time ago on eBay in Germany. Very clean guy. I said I'll get it because it was at a good price at that time. Now you go and buy them. But anyway, just to tell you, all right, so Akai, if anybody wants a good reel to reel, high end, low end, whatever, you cannot go wrong with Akai. Look, every reel to reel needs service. It doesn't matter if it's Akai, TX, Sony, Sansui, you know, or whatever, you know. Realistic, they made some beautiful little, well, they didn't make them, I think. I'm not too sure who made them. I think Pioneer did, or actually no, TIAC did. TIAC, they made their reel to reel for realistic. Beautiful. You know, I've got one still working, never been serviced, never changed the caps. But yeah, just, you know, my 2 cents. You want to buy reel to reel? Go with Akai. Right, you cannot go wrong. I'm telling you this, you cannot go wrong. All right. So anyway, another 5 recapping on my list. I've got them all in the shelves. Oh, these I haven't got yet, but they're on their way from different customers. So anyway, all right. So bye.